This week's episode of the multiple award-winning Here For It podcast is brought to you by brooms. I don't know what magical incantation y'all have going on in your house, but my broom did none of that standing witchcraft.
Oh, you tried it?
Of course I did.
Like, bitch, I can put this on my stories.
I wasn't going to put it on the internet. I just wanted to see what the hype was. So I tried it. I was like, y'all playing games. Y'all doing this for likes and clout and retweets and what the fuck ever. Brooms ain't fucking standing up. And I know I got a good broom. It was like $15.
Oh, you got your taxes back.
So I was like, I know if this broom ain't standing, I don't know what the fuck y'all doing. Y'all doing shit for the internet.
So I'm a day late, so I didn't see it till today. But according to NASA, it was only valid yesterday. So I got off work today. Like, oh, so maybe mine ain't doing it because the dustpan attachment's still on there. Let me take the dustpan off. No, it didn't work for me either. But I was also a day late, so
correct.
My Memphis jumped out.
Well, luckily everything else in my house stands up. So
hallelujah. The foundation ain't straight, but straight.
I was talking about dicks, but
I
am the Superman THE.
What do I say to that?
Nothing. You don't live in my house.
Going on? Okay.
Again, I am the Superman THEESUPAMAN, aka the legendary Dominican. Unlike the upcoming legendary show.
Oh, that was weak. That was both of us listeners.
BKA, the last hosting top.
What happened at the Dominican show? What'd you say?
Legendary is the name of the show that we read last week. For
we did? Okay,
representation, cool. Because they did not include. I guess I'm gonna update you as well.
Please do, because woo, I love Here For a Podcast. I have to tune in.
We read the show. The name of the show is Legendary because they're doing the ballroom scene.
Oh, and that girl was invalid.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. And so that was last week. I'm gonna bring us into this week here in a moment.
There's an update. Yeah. Okay.
There's an update.
Yeah.
There's an update,
and I have a lot to say, and I don't have. That's why I have a podcast. So.
Right, and so that's why I was trying to get there. But okay, let's get back to this side of the train tracks. When did you know? Our icebreaker this week is, when did you know you were sexually attracted to men?
5, 6 years old. Things were happening to me at age 4 in foster care. But I accepted that thing for what that thing was. But then when I left foster care at age 8, I was still looking at boys like, I want to go lick him. I was thinking things like that. I'm like, I want to go lick him. Like, I wonder what his socks smell like.
Oh, no, not socks. I have never been that.
But I was never looking at girls like, I want to open her butt cheeks and sniff. Like, because straight boys were like, I wonder what that booty holds. I'm like,
that's how I know I'm bisexual.
I like when boys say that to, I like when y'all say that to me. Like, yeah, niggas wear these butt cheeks and sniff down there. But I didn't want to do that to girls. Like, girls. We can talk about coloring books and, playing with dolls, but I want to smell him and lick him.
I definitely want to do it to boys and girls.
Woo, so. I'm getting the moist right now. Literally, my truth.
Yeah. If this was in video, y'all would have seen the sweat pouring down this nigga's head.
Oh,
There's sweat coming off of him.
There was like this boy that showed up in 4th grade. In 5th grade and 6th grade, his growth spurt happened before the rest of us, and I was already tall. So his growth spurt happened a little bit faster. And I tell the story all the time about this boy when the teacher left the portable. He was like, "Y'all, let's go look at this girl."
That's ghetto. Y'all had portable.
We had portable. You like the portable classroom, yeah. So
that's where they put the special kids.
Well, our school was expanding, but anyway. So, and we all went to go look at the coochie on the computer, and I knew that I definitely was not. I was going over there to be with the boys to look at the computer, to look at the coochie, but I was like, can one of y'all spread y'all legs and let's see what's going on?
Yikes.
You play tag. Whoever playing tag. And I'm in for life. My booty hole is...
You in for life.
My booty hole is... What's your answer?
Okay.
Ice broke, okay? Ice is broke.
Yeah, I don't even think there's ice present. I think that was just heat. I guess mine is
I'm seriously hot. Woo! The heater ain't on or nothing. I'm just hot. Tell your story while I fan myself.
So I don't have a story that way. And definitely not of abuse. And so I like to tell my story because a lot of straight people use abuse as the reason that people are gay. And I knew that I was gay before I was ever abused. So I'm the opposite of Ronald Matter's story. Ronald Matter's story was that of abuse, but happened to also be gay is his story. My story is I was already gay way before, years before I was already bisexual, before I was ever sexually abused. So,
and that happens.
Yeah, I know.
Both of them can be true.
Yeah, both of them can be true. And that's why I tell my story, because I want people to know that it's not just people that get abused. Mm-hmm. I know plenty of people that have never, ever been abused or anything. They just knew that they liked something other than what society would like them to like. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get to that also here in a minute. But I knew in kindergarten, I was at the urinal, and it was a Asian little boy that I used to like. I can't remember his name. And I wanted to go to. We went to the bathroom together all the time. So
the hall pass is valid for one kid. Yo, Miss Johnson said both of us can go.
Now that damn, what was my elementary school's name? Oh, Monyer. Monyer Elementary in Detroit, Michigan. Not at that school because we went together. We weren't touching each other or anything like that, but it was just our moment. And I'm gonna leave it there. So that's our icebreaker this week. Our word of the day, WERD, is incel. This week we're also gonna have a word of the day and a Black Gay History moment as well.
Thank you. I was say I thought you promised.
No.
Thank you.
Bonus. The word of the day this week is incel. INCEL.
I vaguely remember it being related to like being stupid.
That's imbecile.
Or like something like not worthy, less than, just associated. It has a negative connotation in my mind.
Some people hold it as a negative connotation, but it doesn't mean stupid. It just means what we would call today socially awkward or socially anxious, or high levels of anxiety around sex. Oh. So incel is anyone who is not sexually active despite desiring to be. Involuntarily celibate. Incel.
Me.
Celibate.
Wow, just gonna expose me right here on my own podcast. Wow, I thought we was bros.
I just wanted to give you a piece of information.
Involuntarily celibate. Me.
So now you know how to correctly identify.
A strict bottom out here.
Now you know how to correctly identify.
There's a market for me. I don't know if it's on eBay. I don't know if it's on Facebook. I don't know where it's at, but it's a market for me.
Okay. We're gonna find it. But right now, incel, involuntarily celibate. Our Black Gay History moment for this week is Major Allen Greg Rogers. I made him a moment for Black Gay History this week because I didn't even know his story until this last week, and I feel like I would know these types of stories because I'm in these military gay type of stories and history type of shit. Like, this is my lane, and it's the things that I know. One of my lanes, because y'all know I have many. But Major Rogers was an ordained pastor, a U.S. Army major and intelligence officer, a civil rights activist in the LGBT community, and the first known gay combat fatality in Operation Iraqi Freedom. So, in the new war in Iraq that has been going on forever, he was the first openly gay person to die in that conflict. Obviously, there was plenty of casualties before 2008, but no one.
I'm gay, girl.
No one prior to that was
Yeah.
openly gay. He was the first openly gay person to die in Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2008. So I felt like it was important to highlight that history because I know
us.
it's us, and I know if I didn't know it, some of y'all didn't know it.
And I didn't know it either. And I do a Black History segment on the blog for 10 damn years. Ooh.
Yeah, so I think it's a part of history because that means that he openly was out as a gay man at this time, was a commissioned officer, an intelligence officer, and had a job back at home, and went to war and didn't come back as a black gay man. So I think that's an important part of history.
Rest in power.
Yeah, definitely rest in power. And I think that if anywhere that is going to be highlighted, it should be highlighted here.
Here for a podcast. Yeah.
Support for this ghetto ass podcast comes from a couple awesome donors and from you beautiful people listening to us right now. Thank you so much. If you listen to us every week, that is a level of support. If you like every episode or at least comment on every episode or share the episode with your social media communities, that is a form of support and we like and love it. But if you would like to see this podcast continue, we need your monetary support as well. So if you could get over to Patreon right now, if you got $1 to your name and you would like to see this podcast continue to grow, get over to our Patreon right now where we have a free episode up for you guys. So one, we're giving you free content on Patreon. And then once you give the $1 per month, you can get access to all of the other content that we've been putting.
100 episodes.
Yeah.
Like we do like bonus audio all the time, especially when we have guests. We love to make sure we get some Patreon content with our guests.
And you get access to all of that once you are an actual patron. So if you get over to our Patreon right now, you can support this ghetto ass podcast because I know y'all got $1. I know you got $1.
Shout out to David W, who donates $5 a month, friend to the show. And shout out to Justin W, $5 donation a month, friend to the show as well. So thank you guys for our new subscribers. And thank you to everyone who continues to give your support every month. I'm a singer.
K. Michelle thinks
Carey is shook.
K. Michelle thinks that as well.
Tinashe is shook. I'm coming for the big girls.
Are they big?
Mariah Carey's like Titans and heavyweights, not in weight. K. Michelle ain't big in weight.
K. Michelle ain't. Anyway,
her new album, All Monsters Are Human. Shout out to Memphis. You're not gonna do Memphis like this. Yo Gotti just released a new album as well.
What's your favorite song?
Weekend and Pose with Megan Thee Stallion and Lil Uzi Vert. And then for the bonus track, it's photo shoot without Megan Thee Stallion, just him and Lil Uzi Vert. And I was like, look at this patriarchy jumping out. The bonus track, y'all took the woman off? Wow. But shout out to Yo Gotti and K. Michelle.
Work. Our affirmation this week
you
is...
You are never this passionate about Detroit, by the way. And I would like to see it.
We have a whole episode titled After a Detroit Song when the Detroit song came out. Now, I don't know what she doing right now because she had did some stuff about a month ago. And then it's like, girl, I'm not even addressing that.
We're not claiming you.
So, I ride for the 313.
Come on out. Give me more.
Anyway, let me do my affirmation. So, y'all can be affirmed. I can be affirmed as well. Before I commit a crime. Our affirmation this week is be peaceful, be courteous, obey the law, respect everyone. But if someone puts his or her hand on you, his, her, or they,
all these girls and boys, whatever
pronouns they may use. But if any of those pronouns puts their hands on you, send him to the cemetery.
That's the goal.
That quote may be familiar to some of you.
Oh, I thought that was just your Detroit mantra.
Oh, don't it sound like it? Don't it sound like
I'm like,
it?
shout out to Detroit. Wow, your Detroit is jumping out. I was here for it still, so I'm ghetto too. I'm trash.
That quote is from Malcolm X.
Oh, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. The anniversary of his death is also coming up in a couple weeks. So I wanted to make sure that I included that in my affirmation because no, I'm not condoning violence. I am agreeing that in our current political and hate climate, that there should be repercussions for LGBT people being attacked and harassed like it's open season on us.
And I'll reshare the video on Twitter. I don't really like sharing fight videos, but y'all got my sisters and brothers out here fucked up. And Zaya, but I'm sure we're going to get to that.
Of course we are.
We're going to get to that.
But again, tying into why I'm making this affirmation. I'm not advocating literally to send people to the cemetery. I mean...
Oh! Oops. We're not? Wow.
No, that's a crime. You go to jail.
It's the manslaughter, but that bitch hit me first. So, self-defense.
Listen, I know because Mr. Petty got away with that. Does not mean that
He's still married the queen of rap.
He did. 1 in a million.
Come on.
But for our people, I would like us to affirm that sending them to a cemetery does not necessarily mean an actual
So you're Malcolm X, so you're not the king. You can't be both.
No, I'm always going to be a Malcolm X. I'm never a turn the other cheek. But that don't always mean you got to kill them.
Okay.
Sometimes you might have to slap them. Sometimes you might have to punch them.
Hospital stay needs to at least.
Sometimes you might have to call ABC News on their ass because that will dead a lot of these goddamn situations. When you get what was one of Susan fired, Peppermint Patty fired. You know all of those.
Okay.
They don't get to come back from that.
They don't.
And that's the same thing as going to the cemetery. You can't come back from this.
Oh, there was a CEO of a company who was in the back of an Uber, and he called the Uber driver a nigger, and he got fired as the CEO from his own company.
Yeah,
sweetie.
Accountability.
Wow, the board the board handled that.
So I know in this climate, a lot of people feel very empowered by the bigot in chief that we have right now, but be empowered that you can send people to the cemetery in more than one way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm learning. I'm growing. I need to stay subscribed to your Ford podcast.
Please. Again, I'm not condoning violence and sending people to a actual cemetery, but you can send them to a cemetery more than one way. Because if your mouth is slick enough and you read a bitch to filth, she got to go home and think about that. Think about her life and her circumstances.
And then she gonna subtweet you for a week.
And that's fine. That's fine because if your mouth is slick enough, subtweet me if you want to. Get to these Twitter fingers if you want to, because you know you couldn't handle these real fingers.
Okay. Put your Detroit up. Okay, I asked for Detroit. I'm still good.
I don't know how to do that.
Back. Put the Detroit back.
It's coming back right on around the corner. Sorry about it. Last week, in our tepid topics, we talked about poppers. And this week, I'm wondering what some of y'all are sniffing. Because this hatred for Billy Porter, you know I am not going to stand, sit, fly, hover, or anything else for it. I am never going to be here for it. And this is for the gay community and anyone outside of the gay community that will hear these words. I will never be here for it. There is no reason. He is a black gay man being what a black gay man should fucking be. Successful, booked, and busy.
Hosting the ABC red carpet.
From Sesame Street to the red carpet.
At the Oscars. Was he nominated? Well, no, he does TV, so he wasn't. That was film.
It don't even. Black China was there.
Wow, you pulled that. Whoa.
So that's what I'm saying.
2 different categories. That's like being a little storm and then being a hurricane. This is like.
But that's what I'm saying. What I see is, the point is being missed when people are inserting their loud and wrong opinions about Billy Porter. People are saying, "Oh my God, that looked tacky," or "That didn't look, I don't like the way that looked." Like. And then also, I was like, "Well, have you looked in the mirror? Because the shit that you wear."
Wow.
Questions. So, no one is asking the same questions of Black China. Because what she wore, I'm like, I don't know about all that.
Ain't nobody writing
But
it.
I don't write about it. I don't give a fuck about Black China. And so I don't hate on Black China. And so I wonder, the people that are hating on Billy Porter, do you just low-key like him? Or do you just want to have something to say? Because history always proves y'all wrong. I was listening to RuPaul's... Now, I realize that there are problems there. But
especially the way you read my fave.
I do read her. But I realize also that in the late 80s and early 90s, that RuPaul was doing a lot of the same things that we're seeing Billy Porter do now.
Which include...
And being androgynous.
Okay.
Being daring and open in the public when it wasn't popular.
Okay.
And even at the time, RuPaul was creating music that only a certain subset of people were listening to. Supermodel. Huge song for the modeling community, but only a certain amount of people listened to it in the 90s. And then comes to 2000s, and now it's a classic, and everyone's listening to it and voguing to it and everything like that. But she was dragged for being herself back when she was making that product and was creating that art, which is the same thing I'm seeing with Billy Porter. Billy Porter is creating art right now. It may not be your taste in art, but it's art that more than likely, I'm not a full psychic. I got a tinge of psychic, but I ain't a full psychic. But I really believe that the things that he's doing right now will be talked about differently in 15 years. And so that's why I despise seeing the hate against anything that he does. If you don't like it, scroll. Shut up, though. Again, when I talked about people standing in the way of the LGBT advancement and progress, if you are a part of the LGBT community and you don't like that stuff, quote unquote stuff, then get the fuck out the way. You ain't got to stand in the way of somebody else in the community's progress. You shut up and sit down. You ain't got to be like, "Oh, I don't like that."
Okay, well, here I go.
He continues to keep people pressed like a panini.
That's a tough crowd tonight. Well, not taking away from the LGBT legend that Billy Porter is, could never. Like, who are me to a bottom from Memphis to tell Billy Porter his status at the bank in legend
None of
status?
us.
We can't. But I didn't like that skirt. I love the top. I even love the boots. I just didn't like the skirt. And as much as I use the meme, tweet 5 or 6 tweets of praise, I can tell Billy Porter, Billy girl, this skirt was not it. And all of us love the top. The hairstyle was out for jury debate. But like, that skirt just didn't go with that top. And I feel I have range to say that to Billy Porter, because the same every time. Even the mechanical hat, the girls that got love.
What is the range? What is the range that you or other people that are saying this? What is that range? What is that range?
I can say I did like the skirt, but also RuPaul.
How?
The same way.
Are you a fashion designer?
The same way that he's broadcasting live from the Oscars. RuPaul was broadcasting live from the goddamn beer aisle when he was posting pictures on the internet, and we were like, RuPaul, that wig. Well, now we are, because we weren't around in the 80s to tell RuPaul, not that wig, Ru. But that still does not take away from RuPaul's legendary status. He's created jobs for 160 plus girls, got RuPaul's Drag Race live down to the Vegas.
160 plus stars, because there's other people behind the scenes that RuPaul has created jobs for. And again, y'all know I will read RuPaul for a lot of things. I will not read him about employment of LGBT people, obviously.
So, I mean, the same way that I can stand RuPaul with my whole heart, I can still tell RuPaul, like, "Ooh, girl, I don't really know about that. Like, your comments about the trans community was trash." And that's
different than wearing a dress to the Oscars. Telling someone that they are transphobic.
Positive comments and comments of where there's opportunity for work. they're the same. They're in a full relationship with the person.
You ain't in a relationship with them, though.
There are great things that you admire, and there are things like, girl, I don't know about that. I don't know.
A dress is different than a stance. If you're transphobic,
I didn't like that skirt.
Okay.
I'm going back to Billy Porter. I did like the skirt. Okay, it's a skirt. That don't mean that I'm not going to continue to follow Billy Porter, care about everything he does, tune into everything he does. I just didn't like the skirt, and I feel that's okay.
I think, but I'm not saying it's not okay to not like it. I'm saying it's not okay to be projecting hatred about, Billy Porter, why you have to be out here doing that again, Billy Porter, here you are again with being femme and being gay in the public.
Talk about long-term haters, but again, your timeline be different than mine. My timeline was just like, we stand, but girl, this skirt. And then
it's more than
the way
timelines.
they ruffled up the skirt to show the boots. Shout out to the girl who designed the boots. I'm sure you had to link her on Instagram in order to get credit for free to get the boots. Cool. I understand how social media works, but I still didn't like the skirt. But that's just one instance. That doesn't mean like I'm taking away from like Billy Porter stop being androgynous or Billy Porter stop slaying us in ways I don't understand right now and probably won't in the future. I still want Billy Porter to take risks. I love that Billy Porter take risks. Sometimes they're hits, sometimes they're misses. It's like a new single.
From K. Michelle. So, like I was saying at the beginning of this topic.
But this long-term hate, girls who hate that look, this look, that look, why you gotta do this, why you gotta be this, that's a mindset.
That's what I'm getting at. So at the beginning I was talking about from Sesame Street to the red carpet because obviously the red carpet has been a moment of controversy for Billy Porter for whatever y'all fashion girls.
He's on a TV show about theatrics and being dramatic.
Whatever the fuck y'all wanted to have something to say about Billy Porter and y'all said it. Cool. But the Sesame Street thing is telling.
Mm-hmm.
Because Billy Porter was booked to be on Sesame Street and he showed up in the same gown that he wore to the Grammys, I believe.
That he was praised for when he wore it to the original show.
Some people was praising him, and some of these same haters was like, you just wear regular tux like every fucking body else that shows up to these goddamn award shows in the same fucking black and white cheap ass looking tux.
Rented tux.
So people, the criticism was that Billy Porter is on Sesame Street and he's corrupting kids because he's showing up in a gown. I'm not even going to go in to why that's wrong because I believe that the chief amount of listeners to this podcast know why that's wrong.
Yep.
Hopefully you will share this with someone that does not know why that's wrong. But what I am going to go into is the top 5 things that are corrupting kids that are not Billy Porter in a dress. So in case we need a class on things that are not corrupting kids.
Talk about it, bitch.
McDonald's is corrupting your kids. I was there. I was that kid.
Therefore, for corrupting your kids.
McDonald's is corrupting your kids. The Bible is corrupting your kids. Some of y'all don't want to hear that, but I said it. Billie Eilish is corrupting your kids. Some of y'all don't want to hear that, but I said that too. Every romantic comedy that is set in a heterosexual relationship is corrupting your kids.
Starring Jennifer Lopez.
Or Jennifer Aniston. Please, get that off my screen. And the accessibility to porn is corrupting your kids. So when you say that the gay agenda is out to get your kids because y'all saw one man in a gown, think about these other things that are corrupting your kids. Just think about that.
These preservatives are getting more of your kids out.
Bye, pumpkin. Bye, pumpkin. Spit if you want to. Last week we also talked about Jamel.
It was a heterosexual woman being booked for a ballroom competition show, down to the voguing, and we was like, Well, I was like, why is Naomi McDonald, the legendary Naomi, not leading this headline, but this straight? Is she Indian? I don't know. I'm not even sure.
We'll just go with Eastern because we don't know exactly what her.
That's why I'm like, I don't know. Don't cancel me for
she's
that.
She's Eastern.
So I'm just like,
a person of color,
straight woman leading the headline when Naomi should be leading the headline. Who is the copywriter? Who sent out the press release? Where's the media girls?
Like the blunt, because here I go. So HBO tried to snatch the cat back, literally while we were recording last week as well, because they had gotten all the backlash that we gave them as well last week, and was like, "Ooh shit, let's pull this back."
Yeah.
The original article that we quoted last week was saying that Jamila Jamil was out front of the show and was the MC of the show. Again, if you don't know what MC means, master of ceremonies.
And BuzzFeed had,
and there were other articles corroborating what HBO had put out. HBO then got the smoke and was like, "Ooh shit, let's pull this a little bit back. Call her into an HR meeting and let's figure this out in the strategy so we don't lose a fucking show." That's what I think happened. Because
I know that happened.
I don't got no proof that happened.
The copy editors got down there like, whoa, this is not the way we want this marketing to look like. You know that.
So that I know that's what I'm saying. I feel that happened, but I didn't see no video evidence, so I don't for sure know. Anyway, so then it was like, let's snatch the cat back. They changed the article and the headline of the article, much like we saw last week with the promotion for the photograph with Issa Rae in it. Because once they caught the smoke, then they was like, "Ooh, change this headline real quick because the girls is on us." HBO did the exact same thing and changed the headline and changed the story to say that they weren't putting Jamila Jamil out front and that they were trying to highlight members of the ballroom community when they weren't doing that initially. And then they went back and deleted the tweet that
all the social media posts,
the posts where
the Facebook posts had to come down,
all of that. So why are you deleting shit if you didn't mean it that way?
Huh?
I don't understand. And literally, as they were deleting things, Jamila Jamil came out and said, "I'm queer."
Me too, sis.
It's just such a good time for you to find your queerness when you are fucking up.
Floor. It's queerness.
Yeah. And, she picked that shit right the fuck up like it was a $20 bill. She picked that goddamn queerness up like it was a $20 bill. Ain't no proof. Ain't no track record of you ever being queer. But now all of a sudden you want to be a part of the community because the community is dragging you for not being a part of the community and in a space where you are taking up space that should belong to someone else.
Y'all can delete her and give Naomi an extra $20. What the salary, the pay range is looking like? Because I will tell you, y'all can give all the money to Naomi and we will all tune in. We will still tune in. I'm here for Naomi McDonald. I am here for Naomi. I'm not watching nothing for those other girls. I don't know I think it was like AJ Roach who was a
Megan Thee
stylist.
Stallion.
Okay, cool.
And I also kind of side eye Megan. I love Megan to death. I really don't want to think of a negative thought. I really don't want to think a negative thought about Megan Thee Stallion.
This is her as an artist contributor.
I get this. Right.
Cool.
She's just trying to probably just get another check and be on HBO, add something else to her resume.
I would do it.
That's probably what she's doing. And so I guess I've given her a little more room.
Space.
Than I give Jamila Jamil because Jamila Jamil it just look real secret agent. Like Megan ain't said nothing. Nothing about this. Nothing. Yeah, I don't even think she even shared the fucking press release. I follow
Megan and I ain't seen it.
So I'm glad she's quiet. So hopefully
she gonna wait till the damn trailer come out. Then that way, when the trailer you share it when it's real. When the trailer come out, when the girl make announcements, all these companies make announcements and then shit don't go. She wait until the trailer come out and they announce the premiere date. Probably that's what I would do. You work with companies before. You know I'm not announcing shit on my goddamn timeline until y'all get this shit to fucking together.
This whole situation just makes my ass itch, and it shouldn't. I want to see a ballroom show. Think RuPaul's Drag Race meets America's Next Top Model meets the ballroom community. That sounds good.
I want to see Tati 007 from My House. My House was an amazing show that y'all didn't watch. And
I
so,
watched it.
I want to see a legendary announcer. I want to see. That's how you prove your credit. Girls who have done things in the community. Where's your resume? You're being booked as a secretary. Where have you answered phones before? Can your previous supervisor give you a recommendation?
Jamila.
Let's call your previous supervisor. What have you done down to the ballroom? Because I can't get no
what have you done down to the queerness? Because since you just brought that on out.
What have you done down to... Have you been working with the foundation of so-and-so and it contributes to LGBT homelessness and so-and-so? And because people involved in the ballroom usually find family. So what are you doing? Where's your resume? Oh, I'm queer. Me too. But look at my resume and look at yours. I mean, like, I run a blog for 10 years. I give to donations of foundations all the time, and I'm always out in... What is your resume? What are you doing? Because I could have been the damn co-host. This nigga next to me could have been the goddamn co-host and shout out to 313 and mentioning 313 on every episode. I'm like, that's my nigga. What have you done with your queerness?
So yeah, I mean, at the minimum, I think
I
think
get passionate about this stuff.
At the minimum, I think to judge a ballroom show, you should have been in the ballroom. You should have been in some shows.
Been to some balls?
Been to one. Okay, because I really don't believe Jamila went to a ball.
Us down here to the Casa Ruby in DC attending the ball and trying to sponsor a ball. We've out here, me and you could have did it. We could have shared the salary. Shit, HBO check, I could put that on my resume. They can go on your resume at DC Man. We just gonna split the salary. Shit, we got colorful commentary for the ballroom. What's that?
So in case you are unaware, I'm not here for it. Jacked is making y'all pay money to block people now.
The ghetto.
Since the takeover from Scruff, there has been a whole new set of rules and guidelines and
How you know this? You married.
I am engaged.
It do go single, married, divorce. Okay.
That's one. That's what it is. But I research. I'm a researcher. So
like, babe, I have a Jacked account, but it's for the podcast.
Actually, don't. That's my personal business. I'm not even.
Yes, tell us your personal business. You have a podcast. That's what this is all about.
Y'all don't
I'm
ask
telling my abuse story. You can talk about your Jacked account.
Well, I talked about my abuse story as well, but y'all don't ask some of these other podcasters to tell them their personal business, so I ain't telling mine. But I know because I know. Let's just say that. Jacked is making y'all pay money to block people now. How do you feel as a Jacked user?
Well, I have my account.
Oh, because you pay for yours. You got the premium.
I won it for free. I got yours premium for free. I had one.
That was more than a year ago.
That was a little bit more than a year. It expired in like December. And I was like, oh shit, that text right off was cute. But I just got it again. So I don't know.
Okay, and so now you're paying what a month for Jacked?
I don't even know.
Okay. That's Jack coming in and saying $5.99.
So really, Yahoo Mail. All I get on my Yahoo Mail is spam. But
okay, so I don't know what the price point is. I think it may be $3.99 or $5.99 or something like that.
Oh, Jacked Beta has expired, and then I'm up with the beta program. I pay for it, and I'm with the beta program, so I get to see what new features are coming up.
Oh, okay.
I give responses to the team about what I like and what I don't like. But I don't know.
Well, Jacked, obviously, is trying to get more revenue to get people to buy the premium services so that you have the features that you've always had as long as Jacked has been around. How long has Jacked been around? I don't know, maybe.
Well, they're the #1 gay app, so.
Yeah. Like, when I used to be on apps, I would get on Jacked before I got on anything else, and then I would get on Grindr if nothing was cute on Jacked. But I can't imagine getting on Jacked right now and then somebody saying something racist or abusive or flaking or anything like that, and then not being able to block them, because I should be able to just not hear from you, talk to you, see you, or any of that. Especially if we've had a negative encounter before.
Yeah.
I would think that for safety reasons, blocking people on these social sites should be paramount.
A necessity. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get the business
you don't want the
model.
headline that something happened to me because I was on Jack. The
Right, and they were able to find me.
The net worth of that headline versus allowing me to block so allowing me to pay $3.99 to block somebody, or reporting live from the ABC News down to the hospital. A gay man said he was on Jackson. So and so. Then that story circulating. What does that do to your stock market prices? For better or for worse? Yeah, I better find out.
But what I'm saying is, there are so many other things that they could monetize on Jacked besides that. Because I feel like blocking is a safety feature for you and me. Because, okay, so blocking them, one, safety for me if I don't want you to know my location and don't want to talk to you no more. For you, because maybe me finding you on Jacked could get me to your location where I could fuck you up.
Oh.
So it benefits both parties for, let's just say I have an ex. Yeah, just dead the situation. If I have an ex on Jacked, let's say we used to date 3 years ago. I'm on Jacked, but I can't block him because I'm not paying the $3.99, blah, 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 whatever. He now knows that I'm 3 miles away from him. He now can start driving around in his car to get a mile closer, a mile closer, a mile closer until he gets down to, that's the street he live on. Let me just drive down the street and find his car. Once I find his car, I know his address. Once I know his address, I know where he live. Then I can, that whole rabbit hole.
I got another whole story. In case that one didn't work, I've already created other subplots. But okay, this plot, because I don't want to reveal none of my theories and thoughts. I agree.
So I'm not here for it. I believe that Jack should find
this. Where do you see this?
It's anybody on Jack. Find it on Jack. Well, you can't find it because of your.
Because I'm really sitting here trying to while you're talking. And I'm like, oh, but maybe.
Well, you
I
can't
pay for it. I don't.
Because you're already sipped the Kool-Aid. But anyone that hasn't sipped the Kool-Aid,
I'm looking for dates in Baltimore. Okay, I'll talk to you about that offline. I'm not even looking for dates in DC no more.
I'm surprised you
said that Baltimore dick.
Okay.
I've been through a lot.
Well, a lot's about to go through you if you're going to get some Baltimore dick.
Woo! And I claim it. Incel. Who?
Incel.
Cool. I like it. Get shirts made.
No. I'm not speaking that over my life at all. So you can Google it. It's a regular story, but people that have Jack that aren't paying for it know the story.
Okay.
Last but not least, probably the most chief of our subjects is one of our previous episodes was Defender of Zion, which once it had been fully released that Zion was a member of the LGBT community, we lifted Zion Wade up, at the time the son of Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, who is now their daughter, Zaya.
I like that. It's short. It's cute. You can put it on shirts. You can put it in headlights. I'm like, is this 4 letters? ZAYA. I can
easy.
You slayed that. Get it trademarked.
Yes.
The trademark is probably available.
So, as we said then, and as we will say now, we are the defender of Zaya. So I know that the news really broke today. Early today.
Dwayne was on Ellen.
Yeah, Dwayne was on Ellen, but Gabby,
ESPN documentary that's coming out.
But Gabby had put the tweet out of the video of Zaya.
To rev up media support for the Ellen interview.
Right.
So I mean, it's a whole marketing play in between both of them.
Yes.
But still, y'all got them fucked up if y'all come for their child. It's cute. We promote a little documentary for the basketball. But girl, my home life is still my home life, and this ain't basketball. And the Lakers just gonna have to understand, or whoever he played for. I don't know. the Knicks.
He's retired.
Oh, cool story, bro. I don't know.
Apparently.
His daughter is his business.
And her business.
And
more importantly.
Both of they're married.
And so I wanted to highlight the story before shit hits the fan. Because I smell the whole.
Good news story.
It is a good news story, and I love the story, but I smell the hoteps coming.
Where they coming from? Can we just close that highway? Put them on the travel ban. Y'all put Nigeria on there, and there's a lot of good dick in Nigeria. Y'all can put Southeast Baltimore on the damn travel ban. Move, stay in Southeast.
Well, how you gonna get your day here?
Leave me alone. Wench.
I'm just saying.
Huh?
I smell the hoteps coming.
Okay.
The hoteps are going to say that Dwayne Wade is a weak man because he's allowing his child to be who she is, and all the other dumb.
And you a weak man because you rather pay child support than be in your child's life, but we're not talking about that. And you a weak man as well because you went to trade school, didn't finish that, and now you still out here a damn barista. But we're not talking about that. And we're not going to talk about this. Move around.
I don't want to talk about it. That's why I'm saying I'm the defender of Zaya. So anytime
I'm the defender of Zaya as well.
So anytime that I see the bullshit, I'm going to find 5 minutes to drag.
I'm going to have to at least go through your Facebook profile photos. Now, your mobile uploads, I don't know about all that, but they really do be where the good tea be. These mobile uploads, ma'am, you had the opportunity to create the space to take this photo, and you still uploaded this. Mobile uploads. People need to see this from your mobile device.
In your dirty kitchen.
Boy, ooh. And your broom standing up, but your goddamn house ain't. Get away from me with this. Go away from me.
The beautiful thing coming out of all this whole story of Zaya Wade.
I done read the girls for no reason.
It's just,
it's
for future.
I'm just telling you, defender of Zaya.
Yeah. So in case you already have them rehearsed, your reads are rehearsed.
Oops, not you calling me Kaya out here. Together.
Well, I hope your line not suspended. The silver lining is that the wisdom of Zaya is the most important thing that I saw all day, because Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade both put out the video of Zaya talking about her transition and coming to grips with the transition. And I'm going to quote Zaya. Zaya is a 12-year-old. This 12-year-old had the knowledge and wisdom to say this quote. There are grown people that have been to multiple colleges and have had decades of life experience that could not speak this knowledge. This 12-year-old has this knowledge already. So when you discount the journey that trans people have, you miss the mark of what intelligence is.
Come on.
The quote is, "What's the point of being on this earth if you're going to try to be someone you're not?" If I have to break that down,
do the whole quote first and then break it down. Come on.
No, that's the quote. That's what I took away from.
Oh shit.
That's the quote that I took away from.
Get that tattoo.
I'm not reading the what. Okay, so what she really had like a paragraph of things to say.
Zaya is the prophet. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
she had a lot, but that's the quote that I took from all that she said, because I thought that was the most profound.
I thought you was gonna do the whole quote.
No.
Y'all need to go watch the video.
Yeah, definitely watch the video if you need more context. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that, to me, that was the quote takeaway that I wanted to use.
I was ready for a sermon. I was ready for a testimony. That was a testimony at 12 years old. Come on out.
This has been 40 minutes of a sermon.
We have a podcast. We can do that.
Anyway, the point is, Zaya was talking about looking in the mirror, and if you don't see who you are, why do you think the world should see any differently? Meaning, if I look in the mirror and I don't see Superman, it's not Superman looking back at me in the mirror. Then why the fuck am I Superman? Why? Who else am I? Who? If I woke up and I look like fucking Batman, I'd be like, ooh, no, what's this? I ain't Batman. Batman's nice and that's cute and stuff, but I'm not Batman. I've been Superman my whole life since I've been born. I've been Superman. And then if I look in the mirror and I see Batman, I'm like, ooh, let's change this.
Ghetto.
Let's fix this.
I need bangs, girl. Where's my bangs? I need new earrings.
I need something because I see Batman in this mirror and that's not translating right.
And hoes gonna hate because your bangs crooked, but bitch, these the bangs I got.
So
you gotta get that in order first.
The next important takeaway is make sure you love who you are when you look at that person in the mirror, and if you don't, change it. Change it till you do, because you don't want to wake up every morning for the rest of your life not liking who you see in the mirror. And that's that on that. Last but not least, execute Ed Buck. Ed Buck is still in jail till August. I can't wait to see them drag his ass into a courtroom. Hopefully it's worse than what we're seeing with...
and hopefully he's lost weight. Usually when people go to jail, they lose weight.
He was already 80 pounds, so if he lost weight, we won't have to execute him. I'll let that linger.
Because I was like, woo! That was a Kenya Moore read.
313. Execute Ed Book. He in jail. We're probably not going to see or hear anything unless he died before then until August. But I hope.
Oh, but where's the documentary on that? Gail, where's the interviews for the commentary on that? I'm ducking on them. Lisa Leslie. It's going down.
That's all I got. Ain't got no more to get.
This week in social studies is a question. And then I have 9 points. So here I go. It says, is a lie detector test necessary?
For what?
Your face, bitch. Ugh, gross. Andrew
y'all know the answer to that.
Andrew Goldstein credits the rise of gay hookup apps for the surge in new clients as cheating has become easier than ever. He's quoted as saying, during all holidays, I see an increase in calls, but particularly around Valentine's Day, my phone calls increase tremendously. I receive calls from every race, religion, creed, sexual orientation. We all have the same problem. What is the problem? Did he cheat on me? Andrew was quoted saying to end. What's the name of the place he talked to? Oh, my link missing. Oh well, here we go. He's quoted as saying, for example, let's say I have a couple by the name of John and Mike, where John is accusing Mike of cheating. So I test Mike, and Mike confessed
I hate this
to
John
cheating
hatred.
one time.
We could have changed his name to something else.
Then
It didn't
all
have
of
to be
us.
John.
This is a quote, Toya.
It didn't have to be John. John wouldn't do this to me.
So, oh shit, I forgot where I would start over. For example, let's say I have a couple by the name of John and Mike.
Give him another name if you got to start all over. It ain't John. Joseph.
Hallelujah. Joseph and Mike, where Joseph is accusing Mike of cheating.
Wait. My ex-fiance was named Mike.
I'm trying to do the quote.
Somebody's coming for me when they wrote this.
So I test Mike, and he confesses to cheating one time. Then all of a sudden, Mike says, "I want to know what Joseph has done," and it turns out Joseph has also been cheating. So yeah, that was about him saying that there are usually instances where during the lie detector test, where Joseph is testing Mike. Now all of a sudden, Joseph got a revelation too, since you hooked up to the monitor. Wench. Now tell the truth about that, because if I give you this hard truth, then you will tell more because you hooked up to the machine. Another thing that Andrew Goldstein
if you have nothing to hide, it won't be a problem.
Prompts individuals to inquire about his service is the instance of an STI. The survey said, the article said a STD, but they're called STIs. Despite the 1998 legal ban on private employers using polygraph tests and the ruling that polygraph results are inadmissible as evidence in federal courts, There are huge loopholes that are exploited by federal employers, law enforcement, and probation officers. All 70,000 people employed by the FBI have had to take a lie detector test.
And people that work for the government with top secret security clearances.
They make you take a lie detector test. Now, even though the federal government has said that, girl, so according to Vox.com, a polygraph test in essence measures one thing: anxiety. And there's a quote from a smart person. It says, all these physiological measures are simply associated with fear and anxiety. And people are anxious sometimes when they're telling the truth, and they cannot be anxious sometimes when they're lying. The more practiced you are at lying, the less anxiety is associated with it. In other words, a polygraph test can sometimes be correct and sometimes be wrong. So when y'all out here arguing with Bay down to the texts and the tweets and you using the slam effect in your iMessage, make sure you remember that even though, to answer the question, is a lie detector test necessary? You can have one, but that don't mean you're gonna get the truth. If he cheat on you, he cheating on you, and if he done lied enough, he not gonna be anxious about lying on this damn polygraph test. So if you can't trust him, you just can't trust him, and it ain't nothing that ain't no machine you can hook him up to that's gonna give you the truth. Follow your instinct, whether it's a verse instinct or a bottom instinct or a top instinct. I don't know what it is, or incel instinct. Whew. And let that nigga go.
If you gotta get a lie detector test, then you know the answer already.
How much those cost? Those cost hundreds of dollars. Those cost like
it don't matter the
$249.
the monetary cost. Sure
$500, and I got to spend $500 to determine if I trust you. Nigga, move. I could go buy some shoes with that and a new outfit. Go move. I can pay up on my credit card.
Yeah, if you have to ask the questions and you don't believe you're getting the correct answer, and you want to go to a third party outside of your relationship to get the answers, that is the answer.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm sorry. Maybe that's bad news for some of y'all.
Okay, what's going on in sexual health?
This week in sexual health, I wanted to do a brief history of HIV. So, y'all know this is probably one of the topics that I talk about the most, but I wanted to flash some numbers. Last week was National Black HIV Awareness Day, and I wanted to put in contrast what some of these numbers are and what they mean and why we should pay attention to them. So HIV was it was first found in the 80s. In 1981, there was 121 reported cases of AIDS deaths, people that died of AIDS complications. In 1984, 3 years later, there was 3,665 AIDS-related deaths reported. Again, so these are reported that we can trace back directly to AIDS, and we know that that is the reason of these deaths. Is this number more? Are all these numbers more? The answer is yes.
Because they were calling it gay cancer in the city.
Yes, they were calling it different things at different times, and people also were hiding their diagnoses throughout decades, and currently still are in 2020, and will still say the cause of death was pneumonia. And that's another subject for another day. That's another subject for another day. That's not what
There's
we're
some truth to that. Okay.
But so 3,665 reported deaths from AIDS-related complications in 1984. 1985, 20,303 AIDS-related deaths. So again, we went from 1981 where there were 121 to 1985 where there were 20,000. So 20 times the original deaths reported in 1981 to 1985. Continued to go up through the late 80s, as I'm sure all of y'all are guessing, and probably some of my older listeners know. Continued to go up from that reported number, and that's just what was reported. We know that number was higher. The number continued to grow through the beginning of the 90s and started to plateau off in 1997. 1997 was the first year that we started to see declines in the number of AIDS-related deaths. And that was because of the rise and knowledge of HIV medications that would treat people with HIV, and the beginning of people starting to trust these medications. In 2019, the number of AIDS-related deaths is 14,000. That is the plateau that we've been at for the last 8 years or so. That number is at that plateau point because the people that are taking the HIV medications as treatment as prevention, those people, they're sold already. They're taking the treatment as prevention. The people that are now taking PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, they're taking PrEP. The very few people that are doing post-exposure prophylaxis, they're doing that now as well. There's still a reason that the number is so high of AIDS-related deaths from 2019 to now. It is because people will not listen to the science and the numbers that will help us as a community. These are numbers only reported in the United States of America, by the way. So this is not even global totals, because global totals, that's a whole nother number. But I'm talking about here in the United States of America. People won't listen to the numbers. People will listen to feelings and how I feel about this and how I feel about medicine and how I feel about doctors. New HIV infections have been reduced by 40% since 1997, since these drugs start getting on the market. 40%. So we went from a steady rise of deaths related to this disease to a plateau after these drugs start getting introduced to the market. Plateau meaning we're not seeing anything go high, we're not seeing anything go low, we're just seeing the baseline. That's what plateauing means in the medical community. In 2018, around 1.7 million people were newly infected with HIV compared to 2.9 million in 1997. So, again, that's a double number. People in 1997 were still being infected with HIV, double the amount of times that people were getting affected by HIV in 2018. These numbers are on the CDC. It's also on a report done by avert.org. You can Google that. I think instead of weaponizing these facts, we can make them tools for a better tomorrow.
Come on. Get that tatted.
Our numbers should not plateau at this point. We have too many weapons in this fight that the numbers should just be going down. And down and down and down. The numbers should be back where they were in 1981. In 1981, there were only 121 people in the country that died from AIDS.
Is this a PrEP advertisement? I just caught a. Is this a prep advertisement?
I can't even.
Here we go. Here we go.
I can't even bring you around, and you sitting here listening to me. That I'm saying this is a listen to the science and listen to the facts statement.
Okay, it's a statement. Okay,
it's a statement. I didn't ask no questions. I'm not advertising no brand. I'm not advertising you get this or you get that.
Go or Truvada.
Ask your
lifestyles versus.
Ask your primary care physician about the drugs, and if they don't know, get a second opinion because you need to find a physician that does know.
Amen.
But we have the science and we have the tools to get back to the numbers of 1981. We should not be stuck, plateaued at the numbers from 1998. It's 2020. So this week in sexual health, I just want to make sure that we knew the numbers, we knew the science. Again, last Friday was National Black HIV Awareness Day. People that are listening to this more than likely are on the spectrum somewhere, more than likely are black. You should know these numbers. You should know where we were as far as people dying from this thing that can be prevented.
And National Youth HIV/AIDS Awareness Day is coming up. So a lot of people who are affected by it are young when they find out because they didn't know about it or their partner wasn't honest and their partner didn't know that they had it because the youth aren't really out here getting tested like they should. So shout out to you for sexual health this week.
Yeah. Again, I know that it seemed like that may have been heavy, but look at the numbers. Look at the science. We are smarter than this. We are in 2020. We don't have to be in 1997 no more.
Even in convincing 300 million Americans, how do you...
I don't have to convince 300 million Americans because obviously this disease, this doesn't impact all 300 million Americans. We are disproportionately affected by it as black gay men. So I'm not trying to even convince 300 million people. I'm trying to convince the people that are disproportionately affected.
So there's 300 million. So let's go down to 100 million. Because there are heterosexual black women still being heavily afflicted by HIV and AIDS. So just 100 million. And getting a message out to 100 million people, there's got to be a marketing to the message. Definitely, I use Here for a Podcast to get my message out, RonaldMatters.com to get my message out to my immediate community. But my immediate community has only been 10 million people in 10 years. So how do I get a message out to 100 million people in a timely manner so they know that this is available? You don't have to.
You do the work. So
CDC does the work.
You do the work because if you do the work.
100 million people on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if regular Joe citizen doesn't do the work and they expect the CDC to do all the work, we will be where we were in 1997 because nobody else was doing the work but the CDC back then, and we see what that has yielded.
50 million people, rest in peace.
The responsibility is on you, on me, on you listening, on everyone that you share this podcast with, and everyone that they share the podcast with, and everyone else that wants to know the truth and talk about the numbers. So the responsibility is here in the community.
Why are you talking about being a quarter skirt?
Again, right. We got more important shit to be talking about. We can't think that we're going to impact the HIV/AIDS crisis by waiting on white people to come and save us. Because white people ain't coming to save us. We got to save ourselves.
But
so if we don't fix the problem, if we don't fix the problem in the black, if we don't fix the problem in the black community, the problem ain't gonna be fixed
white people
anywhere.
Lie to us? What? I cannot believe that.
What's this on for yourself?
Megan Thee Stallion featuring Moneybagg Yo with a Project Pet sample, their song All That DAT just went gold. So I was like, I remember that video. And so I went back and watched the video, and I remember why the song was good. So shout out to Houston, Texas, linking up with Memphis, Tennessee, where Moneybagg Yo is from, signed to Yo Gotti. Y'all thought y'all was gonna get away from that Memphis reference. Their song just went gold, and things that Megan Thee Stallion did, that she showed up in a cheetah girl bikini down to the infinity pool, and then she showed up. She left a note in the hallway, and by the time you read it, she'll be far away. She had that bikini on, crawling on the table. She was serving sex, and just So watch the video for Megan Thee Stallion and Moneybagg Yo, All That, and you like, bitch, I like this song more. I like it more.
Oh, that was the one in the white.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, things they did include, but not limited to, that.
My song is from my from my childhood. I fucked around and clicked something and she went away.
Yo, click.
I won't say my childhood because shit.
You was 3 when it came out.
No, it wasn't. Shit, I was out of high school and in the middle of college when this song.
Wait, that's not your childhood, man.
It felt like it feels like a stage of my.
You were 18 to 24. That was young adult realness.
Yeah, it was a stage of my manifestation. The song came out in 2008, so no, but it's just
Shout out to Obama.
I felt young. I feel like it was.
Yeah.
I felt young.
Hopeful. Yeah.
Ooh, flash to 12 years later. Oh. So I'm not gonna read the first part because that's very cryptic and dark, but the rest of it is great.
What is this, a Meghan Trainor song? What we doing?
We didn't know who the fuck Meghan Trainor was in 2008.
That was the joke, Toya. You weren't supposed to state it plain.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about. Anyway, so I'm gonna drink my money. I'm not gonna pay his rent.
Oh, please don't.
I got a brand new attitude, and I'm gonna wear it tonight. I want to get in trouble. I want to start a fight. So what? I'm still a rock star. I got my rock moves, and I don't need you. And guess what? I'm having more fun. And now that we're done, I'm going to show you tonight. I'm all right. I'm just fine. And you're a tool. So what? I am a rock star. I got my rock moves. And I don't need you. Tonight. So What by Pink is the song for my soul this week. Because it is and was a mood of I don't need you.
Huh?
I'm a rock star. And you know, some of the best rock stars are solo acts. Pink, you did that 2008. So what?
Are you here for something sexy this week for Valentine's? Valentine's.
I would say it's sexy.
Yeah.
There's a Denver nonprofit that has bought a hotel, and they are transforming it into mini apartments for homeless people. 139 apartments to be exact. The rooms are available for people who come in from shelters across the city or even directly off the streets. And this is the kind of thing that I love to see because we definitely have a homeless problem throughout this country, and there's too many vast resources for this problem to continue to be relevant and real. There is more housing open and available in this country than there are homeless people. So if I broke that down to you, like one of my old drill sergeants used to say, tell it to me like I'm in second grade. And what he meant by tell it to me like I'm in second grade, keep it simple, stupid.
Please.
If I kept it simple, stupid, we have places in this country that are empty, may never be filled. We have more of those places that are just fucking empty. Like, just take apartment El Dorado, apartment building El Dorado. She got 500 apartments in her. Only 450 people live in that apartment, or 450 apartments are taken. There are 50 apartments not taken in that apartment building. But there are people sleeping outside that apartment building that they will watch for a year, sleep outside through the seasons, that will not be able to come into that apartment building because capitalism. We don't feel sensitive enough in this country to think about homeless people enough to even put them in places that we can't sell to nobody. And in Denver, thankfully, they have thought up a solution. I'm excited about it. I'm absolutely here for it. At least 5,000 homeless people reside in Denver, Colorado. And thanks to this project, at least 139 of them will be off the street. So I'm absolutely here for it. Of those homeless people, a lot of them people of color, a lot of them black people, a lot of them LGBT people. So this is a general story, but I know in this number, Amen. Some of us are in.
Amen.
So I'm absolutely here for it.
Power.
Oh, God.
By 50 Cent down to the Stars Network. Wrapped up this week. And you know how they announced the ending? With 4 spinoffs.
Go away.
Power, Book 2.
Was there really enough people even watching Power?
Power, Book 3, Raising Canaan.
No.
Power, Book 4, Influence.
No.
Power, Book 5, Force. When Family Matters went off the air, we didn't get no what's going on upstairs spinoff because they left the girl upstairs. She can come back down.
Did we really get anything from Steve Urkel again? I forgot what's his name.
His name started with a J too. So Jamil White.
Yep.
Okay. Steve, when he turned into the other person, I was like, oh, look at me on a Friday night.
Stefan.
Nothing else to do. Eating my Bluebell and my Angel Food ice cream down to the Memphis. That's the regional ice cream brands.
Jaleel White.
Jaleel, not Jamil. Oops. I definitely want to be rescued from that. Also, with Living Single went off, we didn't get no spinoffs. Even when hits like the Cosby Show went off, we did get the College Show.
A Different World.
But, 4 spinoffs. What are y'all doing? Y'all average 1 million viewers per week. 1.1 on a good day.
I'm really surprised at that.
And now y'all got y'all are struggling for content. There are writers out here, specifically black ones. I'm rooting for almost everybody black. Because some of these hotels I can't root for them. It's y'all can give there are other people who have great brands like Insecure out here waiting to be picked up. And what are y'all doing? Because 50 Cent got a little money and some little social media power. It's other people out here working on things. I would love to see About Last Night picked up and put on Stars. Get some gay black girls out here. If they have the budget. I would love to see No Shade make a comeback. The TV show, the web series No Shade was amazing.
So when you said About Last Night, I immediately thought about the Kevin Hart movie.
No, About Last Night is the show that we talked about on Slay TV.
That's Love at First.
Love. I always pronounce it wrong.
I was like,
LAFN, Love at First Night. I know the hashtag. I just don't know the.
I was like,
words.
Love it. I was like, no.
I just don't know the words.
I'm not interested in giving Kevin Hart no more motherfucking opportunities. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to with him. No shade.
But Love at
Unless
First
he gonna
Night.
do gay porn.
Shout out to
now, if he did gay porn, I'd be interested.
Moving on swiftly and professionally. Shout out to the Memphis drag queen scene.
His agent might want to listen to me because that's a break.
If you have questions, send them to our email hereforpod@gmail.com or to any inbox where you can find us on social media. It has come down to the last call. Mine is empty because I cheated. So re-pour mine. Cool.
If you guys are unfamiliar,
Woo! Toya, don't pour it. Woo!
if you guys dramatic, if you guys are unfamiliar with last calls on this show, last call is our last drink of the night. If you are at work, do not be drinking at work.
Huh?
But if you ain't at work,
Yeah.
go get you a shot of something, get you a little sip of wine or whatever you got. It is time for our last call.
It's time. Whoa. Tequila. Shout out to Anthony Superman and his fiance, hello, Mr. Robinson, whose last name will be changing soon. We'll be joining Speak Out with Antonio for a conversation on dating and marriage. The DC girls need this. Look, we all make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year,
No, we all don't. No, they all don't.
but we can't find success down to the apartment with 3 roommates. So hopefully, I'm hoping my fingers are crossed and your heart is open. Amen. That through this panel discussion, that the DC gays will be able to find some love, literally, and some support from their friends. Literally.
And to have more than an open heart, an open mind, and open legs, an open mouth.
So shout out to y'all for having this discussion because I really think it's great.
Yeah, we're joined by couples ranging from newlywed to already married to a single guest person to divorced. So it will be a very impactful discussion in Black Gay Love. Everyone will be Black and on the spectrum of LGBT on the stage. Never been done before.
I'm excited. I'm here for it.
And again, we all come from different walks of life. I know some on the panel also come from government work experience, some sex work experience, some. I don't think that's. I don't think that's. Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think that's.
We're gonna leave the link in the description where you can go.
It's not T. I believe it's public.
Just let it. Don't, because if you.
But it is a cute last call. See us on February 22nd.
Yeah, so we will leave link in the thingy wherever you're listening to get tickets, and if you're in the DMV area, come see us. If you come into town for the event, definitely tell us so we can buy you drinks. Hello.
That's right before the first. I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, I shouldn't say that.
No.
We make $60,000-$70,000. Girl, we still got roommates.
Rent is
Both
gonna be.
of us got roommates.
Well, my
How many roommates you got?
I'm engaged to my roommate, and we have one child.
Shout out to the doggy.
That's anyway.
Where is? Oh, I'm allergic, but I love him.
Okay, go love him. I was gonna say something else smart, but I'm gonna let that ride.
Thank you.
My last call is to my current state of residence.
Oh, hallelujah! What that mean?
Virginia becomes the first Southern state to pass sweeping LGBTQ non-discrimination bill. So, one
more. Okay.
Yeah. One, to me, as someone that has lived in different places in the South, I don't really consider Virginia the South.
Virginia is, but
when you start looking at the Mason-Dixon line and how things have happened through wars and stuff,
of America,
and the biggest battles that were fought in Virginia over slavery, sure, and definitely not where I live at. That ain't the South. Ain't no Crystals around the corner. Ain't no Kroger nowhere. It's a
the liquor store is kind of weird over there by your
house. The way that well, Virginia, that's throughout the state of Virginia.
The liquor store is.
What's the Dixie Queen?
Yeah, Dixie Queen. Ooh, Shout out to Memphis.
Ain't no Dixie Queen.
But y'all, do you have a version of Dixie Queen in Dallas? Because you lived in Texas, so was it like an In and Out or something down in Texas?
Well, In and Out is California.
That's where I'm going.
Oh, this is about to be a fat ass. Anyway,
yeah, New Year, New Me, same diet.
I can't think of what Dixie Queen was in Texas.
Yeah.
Know. But I know we had one. Anyway.
Because y'all had Coney Islands in Detroit, so that was just the...
Yeah, but that's North/Midwest. But anyway, we call it Virginia the South for now.
Okay. That joke.
Yeah. Senator Eben.
E-B-I-N?
E-B-B-I-N.
I'm trying to figure out baby names. So
Eben, and you ain't...
Don't name your baby that. Don't do that.
You and Tanya only got one egg.
That's rude. Don't make
She said that.
People want one egg.
She said
spent $200,000 trying to get pregnant. Do you know how many Louboutins I could have bought with $200,000? And I'm trying to have a baby. Wow. Fulfill my prophecy as a woman. You can't just say stuff like that. You'll get canceled. I'm canceling him for y'all, so don't cancel him. I'm holding him accountable live.
Cancel me. Cancel me.
Okay, so back to Mr. Eben. Okay.
Senator Eben. He spoke while this was being passed. He said very few lawmakers came out of their offices to meet with us, and I don't think it made a difference. Senator Eben is the first openly gay person elected to state office in Virginia. And he was the proponent and the voice of this bill. The bill enables the Attorney General's office to pursue civil action against anyone engaged in a pattern or practice of resistance to the civil rights spelled out in the proposed law against any member of the LGBT community. So, this means discriminating against you for any reason in the state of Virginia. We're hoping that things like this continue to cascade throughout the rest of the South, and more of you are protected. But at least in the state of Virginia, we have state laws on the book protecting you from discrimination in the workplace, discrimination in the voting area, housing, all kinds of places where you feel
down
like you
to the
can
restaurant where somebody approached me and started yelling, and so I kicked the bitch. I did, because that bitch was discriminating against me, and I think I should be protected.
She also calls you sweetie.
Sweetheart. You know, sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
Sweetheart is my
trigger.
Sweetheart is my thing.
So that is my last call this week. Virginia is not one of the best states that I've ever lived in, but at least we have that. And I am proud to be a resident of Virginia because of it. So it is my last call.
Thank you guys so much for listening to Here For It podcast. Make sure you follow the show on social media at Here For It Pod. Send us letters, hereforitpod@gmail.com. Patreon.com/Here For It Pod. And hereforitlive.com, hereforitshop.com. What do you want? We got it. What do you want?
There's even a free episode on Patreon right now. So if you have never heard any of our Patreon content, you don't know what it gives, there's a free episode right now that you can check out before you decide you want to give us $1.
The first agenda.
Go listen to the free episode and then be like, you know what? I'll give these black gay niggas $1.
Yeah, it's a lot going on over there that y'all don't know about. It's a whole nother... Y'all think the podcast is a thing? There's a whole nother thing. So...
Thank you guys again for listening this week. I am the Superman, TheeSupaman. Please take your prep, whatever you describe prep is.
My name is Ronald Matters. Follow me on the internet at Ronald Matters. And of course, RonaldMatters.com.
The resistance will be televised by any means necessary.
Take your Truvada or Discovery.
I said that.